Picture this. You're walking through your living room, minding your own business, when suddenly, bam! A furry ninja swats your ankle from beneath the sofa and sprints away into the shadows. Or maybe you just bought them a fancy $50 plush bed and they are staring at you with pure disgust from inside the dirty cardboard box it came in. We've all been there, but it makes you wonder, do they do this out of pure spite? Are they plotting our demise? Or did your perfectly good kitty just completely break down? Well, my fellow humans, cats don't do things by accident. Every side eye, every knocked over water glass, and every rejected cuddle has a deep psychological meaning. Today, I am going to reveal the 12 things your cat will never forgive you for, even if you are the one who opens the fancy tuna cans. We are going to decode their secret language and find out why they hold such epic grudges. Before we dive into the fluffy drama, head down to the comments right now and tell me, what is the name of your furry hooligan? And what is their worst habit? Let's get a support group going down there. Before we start listing your crimes, we need to understand the magnificent, complex, and slightly crazy creature that lives in your house. You see, unlike dogs who have been bred for thousands of years to be our eager-to-please best friends, cats basically domesticated themselves. They walked into our barns, ate our mice, and decided, you know what? This giant hairless ape is an acceptable servant. I shall stay. Deep down in their DNA, your sweet little fluff ball is still a solitary apex predator. In the wild, they are both the mighty hunter and the potential prey, which means they are hardwired to be hyper-aware, fiercely protective of their territory, and absolutely obsessed with routine. They don't understand our human concepts of hugs, loud surprises, or sudden changes. To a cat, their environment needs to be perfectly controlled, and they need to be the ones controlling it. When we act like goofy, unpredictable humans, we completely short-circuit their predator logic. So when they get mad at you, it's not because they are evil, it's because you just broke the ancient, unspoken laws of the feline universe. Let's look at how you've been breaking these laws without even knowing it. Let's kick things off with mistake number 1, which is quite literally the ultimate feline felony, the forced cuddle. You know exactly what I am talking about. You are sitting on the couch and your beautiful soft little angel is napping peacefully in a sunbeam. They look so incredibly squishable that your brain stops functioning. You swoop in like a giant eagle, scoop them up, and bury your face in their fur, showering them with kisses. Congratulations, human! You have just committed a terrible crime. While you think you are showing pure, unconditional love, your cat is mentally drafting a restraining order. Cats are fiercely independent creatures, and their personal autonomy is everything to them. When you force a cuddle session on a cat who simply isn't in the mood, you are taking away their control. Imagine if a giant alien grabbed you by the ribs while you were sleeping and started aggressively rubbing its face on yours. You would be furious. Cats feel the exact same way. They will tolerate it if they truly love you, but they are absolutely keeping score, and they will not easily forgive you for this violation of their personal space. Continuing with the fallout of the forced cuddle, you might notice something hilarious but insulting right after you put them down. Have you ever seen your cat violently start grooming themselves the second you release them from a hug? They will sit there, aggressively licking their shoulder or their paw while glaring at you. That is not just them fixing their messy fur. In the world of feline psychology, that is them literally trying to wash your disrespectful human scent off their majestic bodies. They are resetting their boundaries and restoring their scent profile to feel safe again. By forcing the interaction, you made them feel vulnerable, and vulnerability is a predator's worst nightmare. The golden rule of being a good cat parent is to let the cat initiate the affection. If they come to you, headbutt your chin, and start purring like a diesel engine, you have permission to pet them. If you respect their space, they will actually seek you out more often. But if you keep forcing the hugs, don't be surprised if your shoes magically end up filled with cat vomit. They never forget a forced snuggle. Moving on to mistake number 2, waking them up from their precious beauty sleep. Cats sleep an average of 12 to 16 hours a day, and some lazy furballs push it to 20 hours. To us, it seems excessive, but to them, it is a biological necessity. They are saving up their energy for very important tasks, like running at top speed across your bed at 3 a.m. for absolutely no reason. When you walk past your sleeping cat and decide to poke their little pink toe beans or give them a quick pat on the head because they look cute, you are committing a major betrayal. Imagine you were in the middle of an amazing dream and someone suddenly shakes you awake just to say, "Hey, look at your foot." You would be completely enraged. Cats operate in exactly the same way. Startling a sleeping cat triggers their innate fight or flight response. You are flooding their tiny bodies with adrenaline, making them think there is a predator nearby. When they wake up and see it's just you, their favourite person, acting like a fool, the disappointment and anger they feel is immeasurable. Let sleeping cats lie or prepare to face the wrath. The revenge for waking a sleeping cat is truly a dish served cold, and it leads perfectly into why they hold this grudge so tightly. When you consistently disrupt your cat's sleep cycle, you aren't just annoying them, you are actually stressing them out on a physical level. Chronic stress in cats can lead to destructive behaviours, over-grooming, and a complete breakdown of trust. They might start finding hiding spots where you cannot reach them, like behind the washing machine or on top of the highest kitchen cabinet, just to get some peace and quiet. This means your desire to interact with them has actually pushed them further away. Furthermore, if you wake them up, they feel perfectly justified in returning the favour. This is why the cat who was rudely awakened at 2 p.m. will absolutely stand on your chest, put a wet nose directly into your eyeball, and scream at 4:30 a.m. They do not feel bad about it at all. In their minds, you set the standard that sleep is not sacred in this household. You started this war human, and your cat is more than happy to finish it by singing the song of their people while you try to rest. Now, for mistake number 3, and it is a trap we have all fallen into. The infamous belly rub. You are petting your kitty, and suddenly they flop onto their back, exposing that glorious, fluffy, soft belly. It looks like an open invitation. It looks like a declaration of love. So you reach your hand out to give that tummy a gentle tickle. And snap! Suddenly your hand is caught in a bear trap of sharp teeth and 4 sets of kicking claws. Your cat looks at you like you just insulted their entire ancestry. What went wrong? You just experienced the ultimate misunderstanding between human and feline communication. When a dog rolls on its back, it wants a belly rub. When a cat rolls on its back, it is actually showing you a profound level of trust. They are saying, "I feel so safe with you that I'm exposing my most vulnerable organs." They are not asking you to touch it. The stomach is where all their vital organs are located, and instinctively it is the area they must protect at all costs from predators. By reaching for it, you essentially betrayed their trust and triggered their deepest survival instincts. The aftermath of the belly rub trap is a spectacular display of feline unforgiveness. After they shred your hand, they will likely sprint away and sit halfway across the room, staring at you with narrowed eyes. From their perspective, they gave you the ultimate compliment, showing you their vulnerable underbelly, and you responded by launching an unprovoked attack on their vital organs. They will remember that you are not to be trusted with their delicate tummy. Now, it is true that a very rare percentage of cats actually enjoy belly rubs, but they are the exception, not the rule. For 95% of cats, the belly is a strict no-fly zone. If you want to acknowledge their display of trust without losing a finger, just give them a slow blink from across the room, or gently scratch the side of their cheeks or behind their ears. Respect the fluff, and keep your hands away from the danger zone. If you keep falling for the trap, your cat will eventually stop showing you their belly altogether, and that is a sad day for any cat parent. They hold that grudge because their survival instincts demand it. Let's talk about mistake number 4, the carrier betrayal. This is perhaps the most traumatic event in a cat's life, and one they absolutely hold against you for weeks. It starts innocently enough. You bring out that plastic box of doom from the closet. You try to act casual, speaking in a high-pitched, sweet voice. "Come here, Fluffy. Look at this fun box." Your cat is not an idiot. They know exactly what that box smells like. It smells like fear, antiseptic, and the cold metal tables of the veterinary clinic. When they refuse to go in, you resort to trickery. You toss their favourite treat inside. The moment they stretch their little neck to eat it, you shove their fuzzy behind into the box and slam the metal door shut. In that exact moment, the trust between you and your cat has been utterly shattered. You didn't just put them in a box. You tricked them using the things they love most. To a creature that relies on predicting its environment to feel safe, this level of deception is truly unforgivable. They will sit in that carrier, yowling the song of ultimate betrayal all the way to the vet. The grudge of the carrier betrayal does not end when you bring them back home. Oh no, the punishment has just begun. When you finally open the carrier door in your living room, they don't just walk out and thank you for bringing them back. They bolt out like lightning, run straight under the bed and initiate Operation Silent Treatment. But the grudge goes deeper than just the memory of the trick. When your cat comes back from the vet, they are covered in strange, threatening smells. Other animals, weird chemicals, and the scent of their own fear are clinging to their fur. Because cats rely so heavily on scent to understand their world, they literally feel like they don't belong in their own home until they groom themselves completely clean. During this time, if you try to approach them to apologize, they might hiss or swat at you. In their mind, you are the giant traitor who facilitated this entire nightmare. It can take days of bribery with premium wet food and absolute distance before they even consider looking you in the eye again. Never underestimate the psychological damage of the sneaky carrier trick. Mistake number 5 is a crime against their dignity, dressing them up in silly costumes. I know. The tiny dinosaur hoodie is adorable. The little pirate hat for Halloween is hilarious. You just want to take one quick picture for Instagram to show the world how cute your furball is. But let me assure you, your cat is not amused. When you strap a piece of clothing onto a cat, you are doing more than just making them look silly. You are seriously messing with their sensory perception. Cats use their fur to feel the world around them. Their guard hairs send constant messages to their brain about temperature, air currents, and spatial awareness. When you put a sweater on them, you are essentially blindfolding their skin. Furthermore, you are restricting their natural movement. Notice how a cat immediately falls over and pretends they are paralyzed the second you put a harness or a shirt on them. That is called the freeze response. They feel trapped, confused, and deeply humiliated. They are proud, agile predators, and you have turned them into a walking joke. The psychological impact of the costume grudge is very real. After you finally take the ridiculous taco costume off your cat, you will notice they don't immediately bounce back. They will slink away, keeping their body low to the ground, and find a secluded corner to aggressively groom themselves. They are trying to fix their ruffled fur and restore their dignity. Cats are very proud animals, and they absolutely understand when they are being laughed at. If you put them in a costume, point a glowing rectangle at them, and laugh hysterically, they register that as mocking behaviour from their trusted human. This can cause deep resentment. If you do this frequently, your cat will start associating your approach with discomfort and humiliation. They will scatter the moment they see you holding anything that looks remotely like fabric. There is a reason you never see a lion wearing a tiny hat on the savannah. Unless it is for a legitimate medical reason, like a surgical recovery suit, leave the fashion shows to the dogs. Your cat will never forgive you for making them look like a fool on the internet. Moving on to mistake number 6, bringing the scent of another animal into their sanctuary. Imagine coming home from work, walking up to your spouse, and smelling a cheap, strange perfume all over their jacket. You would have some serious questions, right? Well, your cat feels exactly the same way when you come home after petting a stray cat or your friend's golden retriever. You walk in, say hello to your kitty, and hold out your hand. Your cat approaches, takes one deep sniff of your fingers, and their eyes go wide with absolute horror. Their ears pin back, they might let out a low growl, and they will dramatically back away from you. You have brought the scent of the enemy into their fortress. To a cat, their territory is sacred. They spend hours rubbing their cheeks on the furniture, the doorways and your legs, to mark everything with their unique pheromones. By bringing a foreign animal's scent right into their living room, on your clothes, you have committed the ultimate act of treason. You are basically cheating on them, and they have the olfactory evidence to prove it. The fallout from the cheating grudge is a spectacular display of feline jealousy and territorial insecurity. After smelling the imposter on your clothes, your cat will treat you like a contaminated zombie. They will refuse to sit on your lap until you have completely showered and changed your clothes. But it gets worse. Because you brought a foreign scent into the house, your cat might feel the sudden need to fiercely defend their territory. This is exactly why some cats will randomly start peeing on your shoes, your gym bag, or even your bed after you've been around other animals. It's not spite. Okay, maybe it is a little bit of spite, but primarily it is an instinctual drive to cover up the intruder's scent with their own overpowering smell. They are leaving a message that says, "This human belongs to me, and this house is mine." If you want your cat to forgive you for petting that fluffy dog at the park, you need to go straight to the washing machine, scrub yourself clean, and offer a peace treaty of salmon paste. Otherwise, you will be branded a traitor for days. Mistake number 7 is all about eye contact, the staring contest. Humans often use direct eye contact to show love, attention, and connection. So naturally, when our cat is sitting on the table looking gorgeous, we lock eyes with them and stare lovingly, waiting for a reaction. Unfortunately, in the feline dictionary, prolonged, unblinking eye contact translates to, "I am challenging you to a fight to the death." In the animal kingdom, staring is an aggressive, dominant behaviour used by predators right before they strike, or by two rival cats trying to intimidate each other. When you stare directly at your cat without blinking, you are making them incredibly uncomfortable. They don't see love. They see a giant, hairless predator locking onto them. If your cat suddenly turns their head away, starts aggressively licking their lips, or just gets up and leaves the room while you are staring at them, they are trying to de-escalate the imaginary fight you just started. You are stressing them out, and they will absolutely hold a grudge if you constantly make them feel threatened in their own home. So how do you fix the staring grudge and tell your cat you love them without challenging them to a duel? You have to learn the magical art of the cat kiss. If you catch your cat looking at you, do not stare them down. Instead, soften your gaze, slowly close your eyes, keep them closed for a full second, and then slowly open them. Then look slightly away. This is the feline equivalent of a warm hug. It tells them, "I see you, I am not a threat, and I trust you enough to close my eyes in your presence." If your cat is feeling generous and forgiving, they will give you a slow blink right back. That is the ultimate validation for a cat parent. But if you continue to stare them down with wide, unblinking human eyes, they will never fully relax around you. They will always view you as unpredictable and slightly aggressive. Remember, in their world, politeness means looking away. Respect their rules of etiquette, stop staring like a creepy stalker, and you will save yourself from a permanent spot on their naughty list. Let's dive into mistake number 8, the uncatchable laser pointer. This is a highly controversial one, but it causes massive resentment in your feline friend. We all love the laser pointer. It is cheap, it requires zero effort from the human, and it makes the cat do hilarious backflips. You sit on the couch drinking your coffee, while your cat desperately chases a tiny red dot across the walls. But here is the psychological dark side. Cats are driven by a predatory sequence. That sequence goes stalk, pounce, catch, kill, and eat. The laser pointer triggers the stalking and pouncing instincts perfectly. But no matter how fast or smart your cat is, they can never catch the dot. There is nothing physical under their paws. They are denied the satisfaction of the catch and kill. Imagine working a really difficult job for 10 hours, and when you finally go to grab your paycheck, it vanishes into thin air. You would be incredibly frustrated. This constant unresolved frustration builds up in your cat's brain. They feel like a failure, and eventually that frustration turns into stress and resentment towards the game, and sometimes towards you. To resolve the laser pointer grudge, you have to complete the predatory cycle. If your cat has been chasing the red dot for 5 minutes, they are pumped full of adrenaline and predatory drive. If you just turn the laser off and put it in your pocket, you leave them hanging in a state of high anxiety. This is why cats sometimes attack your ankles right after a laser pointer session. They need to bite something physical to release that pent-up energy. To avoid this grudge, you must end the laser game by pointing the dot onto a physical toy, like a stuffed mouse or a kicker toy, and turning the laser off the exact second they pounce on it. Now they have something to grab, bite, and bunny kick to death. Even better, immediately follow this up with a high-protein treat or their dinner. Now you have completed the natural cycle: stalk, catch, kill, and eat. Their brain gets a massive rush of dopamine. They feel like the ultimate apex predator, and they will view you as the amazing human who facilitated their glorious hunt, rather than the cruel trickster who kept stealing their prey. Mistake number 9 is a massive disruption to their universe, changing their litter box setup without warning. Humans like redecorating. We buy a new rug, move the couch, and decide the litter box looks ugly in the hallway, so we suddenly move it down to the dark, scary basement. Or worse, we switch from their favourite unscented clay litter to some fancy lavender-scented pine pellets because it smells better to us. You have just committed an unforgivable sin against your cat's bathroom etiquette. To a cat, the litter box is not just a toilet. It is a vital part of their territory mapping. They rely on the specific location and texture to feel secure when they are in a very vulnerable position. Changing the location abruptly is like someone moving your bathroom to the garage while you are sleeping. And changing the litter type? That is even worse. Cats have incredibly sensitive noses. That lavender scent that smells fresh to you smells like a toxic chemical spill to them. When you change their bathroom rules, they feel immense anxiety. The revenge for the litter box grudge is the one that hurts humans the most. Inappropriate elimination. If you move their box or change the texture to something their paws hate, they won't file a written complaint. They will simply find a place that meets their standards, like your soft, luxurious bed, or that pile of clean laundry you just folded. And the crazy part? They aren't doing it to be jerks. They are doing it because you took away their safe option, and the pile of laundry is the closest thing to soft dirt they can find. If you ever need to move the litter box, you must do it gradually, an inch a day so they can adjust. If you change the litter brand, you have to mix the old with the new slowly over a couple of weeks. If you just shock their system by changing everything at once, they will never forgive you, and you will be spending hundreds of dollars on enzymatic cleaners. Respect the sacred bathroom geometry of your house, or prepare to face the smelly consequences of a feline protest. Mistake number 10 is an ego crusher, laughing at them when they fail. We like to think of cats as elegant, graceful acrobats who never make mistakes, but occasionally your majestic panther will miscalculate a jump. They will try to leap from the couch to the bookshelf, miss completely, and slide down the wall like a cartoon character. It is objectively hilarious, and as a human, your first instinct is to point and burst into loud laughter. Big mistake. Cats have massive egos, and they are incredibly sensitive to being mocked. When they fail a jump, they already feel embarrassed. You will often notice they immediately start grooming themselves intensely after a fall. This is a displacement behaviour. They are pretending they meant to do that. I didn't fall. I just suddenly decided to aggressively wash my left leg down here on the floor. By laughing at them, you are drawing attention to their vulnerability and damaging their pride. Your loud, booming laughter sounds like aggressive barking to them, compounding their stress. They will shoot you a look of pure death, flip their tail, and stomp out of the room. To round off our list, let's look at mistake number 11 and 12 combined into the ultimate betrayal, ignoring their meows and abruptly changing their diet. Cats actually evolved the ability to meow, specifically to communicate with humans. They rarely meow at other cats. So when your cat is walking around yelling at you, they are desperately trying to tell you something. Ignoring them is the ultimate disrespect. It tells them their servant is broken. And the most common reason they are yelling? Food. Which leads to the final grudge, switching their favourite food. Cats are creatures of extreme habit, and their digestive systems are very delicate. If you suddenly switch their kibble because the store was out of their favourite brand, they will look at the bowl, look at you, and initiate a hunger strike. They would literally rather starve than eat the imposter food. By ignoring their complaints and messing with their menu, you have broken the most sacred vow of the human-cat contract. They will plot their revenge, likely by knocking your favourite glass off the counter while maintaining direct eye contact. You have been warned. And there you have it, folks. The 12 fatal mistakes that will land you straight on your cat's naughty list. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that beautiful, fluffy, slightly tyrannical little head of theirs. From the trauma of forced cuddles to the absolute betrayal of the vet carrier, our cats are holding on to some serious grudges. But let's be entirely honest with ourselves. Even when they are plotting our demise, shredding our furniture, and judging our every life choice from the top of the fridge, we absolutely adore them. Their quirky, independent nature is exactly why we are so obsessed with them. We will gladly accept our roles as their humble servants. If this video helped you understand your feline overlord a little better, please smash that like button, hit subscribe so you never miss out on more zoopsychology secrets, and share this with another cat parent who needs to hear the truth. Before you go, answer me this. Which of these 12 crimes are you most guilty of committing? Confess your sins in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.